What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Cloud Slayer channel. Hope you guys are doing well. Today we got a Monday Ramble. Took off last week. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Wasn't feeling it. Wasn't feeling too good. Had to take a week off. It doesn't really matter, I guess. But um, you know, sometimes you just got to deal with things. Oh, piece of hair on my eyebrow. But it's if you don't if you need to take care of yourself, you got to take care of yourself, right? There's a lot of things that are starting to come to light, of taking care of one's mental health and taking care of one's well-being and all that kind of stuff, right? Whether you be male or female or, whatever you are, whoever you are, and you're gonna need some time or learn how to cope with things that aren't always like unhealthy and stuff like that. So recently, like I said last week, um, couldn't sleep too much and stuff like that, but still have to work, still have to take care of your family, still got to do these all these awesome things, even if you can't sleep, even if you're down in the dumps, even if you're you're feeling bad about stuff, even it doesn't matter. Sometimes life continues to go on because you have priorities in your life as an adult, and you got to take care of these things, right? And sometimes you'll find yourself in a struggle and stuff like that. Maybe it's just within yourself, but you always got to remember you ain't alone. If you got family to share it with, make sure you're talking to them, or you're learning of other ways to cope with that. Some people don't have family per se. Maybe they don't confine in a therapist or something. But maybe they go to the gym. Maybe they go do jujitsu. Maybe they go do hot yoga. They do something, right? They do something that keeps their mind preoccupied. They do social gatherings and stuff like that, right? Ones that don't involve alcohol, I guess, because it seems like alcohol has been trending down and down, and over the years, people getting privy that maybe it's not the best way for them. Maybe they take other avenues, and hopefully that's not what says, right? But hopefully it's more so that people are going towards like fitness and stuff like that. So, and it seems like it's more true because it seems like there's a lot more, people that are fit and that are, posting about going to the gym and stuff like that. But it could also be that we got social media and stuff like that. So obviously it's going to be more in a spotlight than it used to be back in the olden days and stuff like that. So, but you gotta make sure you communicate that in one way, shape, or form, or figure out something that helps you, you know, get rid of that stuff. I ended up going to jujitsu. I went 2 weeks before that, and it was awesome. It was freaking awesome. 2 weeks before it was my first time since the competition, and holy man, I was so tired. We didn't even get to do any live rolling, and I was ralphing. I threw up because um, I hadn't been freaking doing any kind of conditioning or anything like that. So the sudden influx of activity, um, yeah, left me down. I got back up, but gold dang, it didn't. It felt great, but you know, I just couldn't keep it down. So it is what it is. It was fun still. I learned De La Hiva. Uh, didn't learn it because obviously it was my first time ever doing it, and um, it's not, you don't just learn something like that. Not me, anyways. So hopefully I can get some practice into the future because it was fun. And then we did like a bunch of fundamentals this past Friday, and holy buckets, man, it was fun. We did a bunch of like stand up and all this kind of stuff. Stand up, working on the ground, side control stuff, um, and working turtle guard and stuff like that. And attacking somebody that's in turtle guard, right? To make it a little bit more easier for ourselves. And it was awesome instruction, awesome showing us stuff. Like when I was younger, I couldn't. Used to try to use the guillotine a lot, and I couldn't do it. And that was addressed at that, so it was awesome. So I understand why it wasn't working for me when I was younger, right? When I'd use the guillotine, I just sit there and they would never tap and stuff like that. It's because I wasn't doing it right, and I knew I wasn't doing it right because clearly they weren't tapping or anything like that. They would just be sore because of that, but my arms would be burnt out also because I wasn't doing it properly. So, um, that was awesome stuff to learn, and uh, going in the future, if I ever have to use it, I'll know what to do going forth. So, freaking awesome, man, and the small things that jujitsu or anything that requires you to learn, practice, and prepare for, it's freaking. It keeps your mind off of stuff. It makes you feel rewarded and stuff like that. So, I guess if you're a person that's looking for a way to cope better than what you're doing now, and you find yourself you're still tired, you're still not wanting to do nothing, you feel like you want to die to the world, right? And not literally, but you feel like you're dead to the world, and you can't go out anywhere. You find something that'll help you walk forward, and not think about those things that may be holding you back, right? And uh, it just requires you to set aside a little bit of time and put forth a little bit of effort, right? And it's all worth it in the end. It's all worth it in the end, especially if it's something that you really like to do or want to do or wanted to do for a while. So, but anyways, this has been another Monday Ramble. I hope everybody has a great week. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, have a good one. Peace.